Week of Scripture for me is pretty intense. I teach every class from Year 7 to Year 10, which is 24 or so classes. There's been lots of people who've been going through difficult times, so I have an amazing conversation with staff.
I'll be teaching Year 7 to Year 10, and then we'll have a seminar for Year 11 and 12.
And at the moment we're working through Mark's Gospel for Year 7 and 8, and in Year 9 and 10 we're working through John's Gospel. I'm also starting up seminars with Year 11 and 12 once a term, although I've actually been able to pray for and with students and staff who have continued to go through difficult times in the midst of COVID.
Students, I do a section on Genesis in Year 9, and it's really quite formative because it asks all the major questions of why we're here, our purpose in life, how the earth was formed, how science and God relate to each other. Is God real? How does God exist? How do we know He exists? And it raises all these questions. And the conversations and questions that come out of that are just fantastic. The second book that I really enjoy is Jonah, which is really kind of interesting. And Jonah, the key theme that runs through the book of Jonah is authentic. What does it look like to be an authentic follower of God? What does it look like to make decisions that reflect your belief and your faith? And how do you live that out in the world?
One of the books that I love doing with the students is Ecclesiastes. So that whole meaninglessness of life and there's nothing new under the sun really resonates with them. And I love it when we look at that in the light of the gospel of Jesus. So anytime I get to talk about Jesus, I'm excited. But often in Scripture, I feel like I'm sowing seeds on the hard path or the hard road. But we have so many students going through tough stuff at our school, and they often don't hit their stride and appreciate what they've been taught and the care they've been shown till they leave school. So I just have to keep trusting God day by day that His seed is going into good soil, whether I see that or not.
Yeah, so during the COVID lockdown, I was out at the surf, and the kid I hadn't seen for a long time paddled up to me and said, "Dal, I've been looking for you." I said, "Why, mate?" He goes, "Well, I've got to tell you something. I've become a Christian." Now, this kid in Year 7, 8, 9, 10 Scripture was always the kid in the back corner who seemed disengaged and disinterested, but he'd always thank me for what he learnt in class and was really polite. And so subsequently, as a young adult, he realised his life was with his mates just wasn't on track. He realised he was wasting his time and he needed something more. He ended up in church, sitting in the back row, and someone said, "Do you want to follow Jesus?" And he said, "Yes." And now he's being discipled and brought up in his church. He's talking about going overseas in ministry.
We're going to work with the Northern Illawarra Combined Churches Scripture Board, which currently has delegates representing 14 churches across 7 different denominations. Just in case you aren't aware, we raise between $100,000 and $110,000 from scratch annually, so we can employ endorsed professional teachers who teach and coordinate any SRE volunteers at Bulli, Woonona and Corrimal High School. Encourage your church families that the Scripture in High School's mission is alive and well in 2020. It is our chance to simply profoundly thank you for your commitment in time, effort, finances, and most importantly for your partnership in prayer. Our website address coming up on the screen now is in need of an overhaul, but you can still easily find the 4 ways to donate.